What's up, guys? Today we got one from Alpha Male, where we're diving into the chaotic, mind-numbing reality of modern relationships, hookup culture, and how society's tearing itself apart. Let's get into it.
There was a study done in the UK. I believe it was in 2014, and then it was done again in 2019. It revealed that over 50% of women have a backup plan while still in committed relationships. This means that they have a plan B in case their current relationship fails. Women initiate 70% of the divorces in America. When it comes to college-educated women, this number jumps up to 90%.
Yeah, so over 50% of women have a plan B while in a committed relationship. That's not a backup plan, that's premeditated betrayal. And those divorce stats, 70% initiated by women, jumping to 90% for the college-educated. I mean, if marriage were a business, no man would sign that contract. You're telling me the guy invests everything, time, money, emotions, and she's got another dude in the wings like a Netflix autoplay? Yeah, no thanks. Marriage isn't just a gamble in the West, it's Russian roulette and the chamber's fully loaded.
Culture benefits guys more than it will ever benefit girls. So some people are going to disagree with me, but let me explain. For starters, we've been knew that guys mainly just want sex. They rarely want commitment, but will do practically anything to get laid. Whereas girls, we're not super horn dogs. Some of us are, but not to that extreme. Y'all want to hook up like equally and with no commitment, whatever, like you do, you live your life. I'm not judging. The problem is that guys tend to lead girls on because they want to keep getting what they want, which is a hookup. And then girls are painted out to be clingy or obsessive or psycho because they catch feelings, but realistically it should be understandable to catch feelings when you're doing something so intimate instead of just being painted out as crazy. Now, what do girls even gain from it? Honestly, 5 minutes of faking it and not finishing 99% of the time, I really don't think I'm missing out.
The guys lead girls on. That's because the expectation is we trade honesty for access. But let's be real, you knew what this was. You said no commitment, and now you're upset because feelings happened. That's like diving into shark-infested waters and being shocked when you lose a leg. Let's not forget, most guys aren't playing 4D chess. They just don't want a relationship because it's a losing game. 5 minutes of faking it, well, ladies, who taught you how to fake it in the first place?
Participating in hookup culture is one of the most misogynistic things you can do for yourself. It really only benefits men, and women take on most of the risks. Feminism has convinced women that sexual liberation through casual sex is empowerment. How is it empowering to give yourself to a man that only views you as an object? The bar is so low. All it takes is a drink or a Netflix special, and you allow a complete stranger to have access to your most intimate and vulnerable energy. And for what? How many of your hookups put your needs before theirs? Now, if you genuinely enjoy promiscuity, good for you. But the majority of women, if they were truly being honest with themselves, are seeking male validation, a sense of self-worth.
She's not wrong. Hookup culture empowering women. Sure, if empowerment means trading intimacy for validation and a sense of self-worth. Feminism told you it's liberation, but it's just selling you cheap dopamine hits while men walk away with no strings attached. Let's talk risk, emotional, physical, mental. Women take it all. And meanwhile, Chad's already ghosted you and feminism calls this a win. The bar isn't low, it's buried 6 feet under.
How old are you?
I am almost 30.
So do you think dating is easier for you as you age?
Absolutely not.
Why?
The dating pool is a lot smaller, and or there's a lot more baggage to be a part of this.
So you see why men go for younger women then?
Absolutely. I mean, I get it. But I'm not a younger woman, so you get what you get.
How long did it take you to realize that though?
How long did it take me to realize that? I'm an independent woman. I don't give a shit either way.
Okay, so do you think a man wants a masculine or a feminine woman?
I don't think it matters what he wants. I'm going to be who I am, and he can take it or leave it.
Men want younger women, that's no surprise. Youth equals fertility, and biology doesn't care about your degree or independence. But keep being who you are. Just don't be surprised when Mr. Right doesn't show up. Masculine energy in women is like ordering a steak and getting a salad.
A gal, your girlfriend or wife, can take your gifts, go on a romantic getaway weekend 1 week, and then the next week tell you that it's over. And 9 out of 10 times, she already has another dude on deck, like a sleeper cell just waiting to be activated. Oh yeah, and 80% of all affairs happen in the workplace. Just a quick reminder.
You know, the sleeper cell theory, I actually kind of like that. You know, she's not breaking up, she's transitioning to the next guy like seamless Netflix binge. In workplace affairs, 80% of them, the office isn't just a cubicle farm, it's a relationship graveyard. And guys, take note, women don't leave unless there's a safety net. And if you're the current dude, you're just the next episode waiting to be skipped. And an extra note for workplace affairs, I always live by the motto, don't shit where you eat.
40% of women will be single by the year 2030. And don't come for me because these are scientific studies. As in single, never been married and never had kids. And honestly, I am not even surprised by this study at all. We have normalized hookup culture, and most people are on dating apps just for an ego boost and not to find actual love. Let's not forget how social media has truly made a negative impact in the dating world. So what are your guys' thoughts and opinions on this? Do you think this is actually going to happen? Do you think it's true? And
40% of single women by 2030. It does sound about right. Hookup culture and dating apps turned the market into a clearance sale for attention seekers. Social media just didn't ruin dating. It turned love into a spectator sport. Swipe left on this nonsense.
What percentage of women do usually have a guy lined up?
I think it depends on, honestly, the reason why you're breaking up and what's been going on.
I feel like if it's something about the guy, they probably have something lined up. But if it's something that they want to work on,
always situationships until this relationship, which I just had, which like just ended, right? And it ended not because anything went wrong necessarily. It was more so I didn't realize I was putting his needs above my own for so long that I was giving him the right answer always and never thinking about what I actually needed.
He didn't prioritize my needs, which translates to he didn't read her mind. And this whole lining someone up bit, it's a standard operating procedure. If a woman breaks up, odds are someone else is already warming up in the bullpen. And men, focus on yourself, because relationships in the West today is like an investment. High risk and zero reward.
Guys can sleep around, but if we do it, like, we get horny too. Yeah. It's okay if we just want to hook up once in a while and have it just be that.
I also think if a guy looks down on you for hooking up with him, that says a lot about what he thinks of himself.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's so crazy.
Guys can sleep around, but if we do, it's frowned upon. Jesus. Yeah, because society rewards men for taking a risk and punishes women for bad decisions. That's the harsh truth. Double standards exist because consequences do too. You want equality? Handle the fallout without blaming everyone else.
Described there is kind of like a symptom of what I would call the wider mating crisis. And it seems to be like a cultural kind of prioritizing of the male default of economic success, the kind of girl boss, lean in kind of culture seems to be set up as what the vision for success for women tends to be. And you have a lot of even corporate giants kind of getting in on this. A few years ago, you had Morgan Stanley, the investment bankers, put out a report that forecasts that 45% of prime working age women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be single and childless by 2030, the largest share in history. And it's not entirely obvious to me that this is in women's best interests. I mean, I'm pretty libertarian in my sensibilities about, freedom of choice, whatever someone wants to do with their life. But it seems to me like you can see the kind of corporate interest in opening up more worker drones for 60-hour work weeks. The workplace now, women are crushing it. It's a brain-based economy rather than a brawn-based economy. So that seems to be in their interests. And it's weird. It's almost like Huxleyan. It's like Brave New World. Have you read that, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's very Huxleyan. It's like this kind of hedonistic life of going on lots of trips, having very atomized type of sex. Singlehood will be on the rise. You won't get attached to any one person. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. That kind of thing. And it seems a little bit dystopian to me, to kind of, to hurtle towards that dystopian vision. But that's the modern mating crisis.
Corporate girl boss culture isn't empowerment, it's enslavement in a pantsuit. Women working 60-hour weeks to fund a dystopian life of freedom? The Brave New World wasn't supposed to be a how-to manual. Own nothing and be happy, that's the elite laughing all the way to the bank.
A growing number of women are choosing not to have kids and as a result are advancing in their careers and using their wealth to buy property and travel more. This is an article by Bloomberg, I think, came out of their Business Week edition. Ashley Marraro isn't married and doesn't have kids, and she has a message for women just like her: you can still have it all. I love my life and feel very fulfilled, says Marraro, who froze her eggs in 2018 to keep her options open. The 43-year-old feels a deep sense of satisfaction from her job as a sales representative for a maker of medical devices, which brings her into contact with patients, and she relishes all of the lifestyle and financial freedoms that come with being a single, child-free woman in a well-paying job. Marraro, who was married for 4 years before getting divorced in 2008, enjoys an enviable degree of financial independence. The West Village resident owns her own apartment. She bought in 2019 for around $900,000 and then renovated. And in June, she closed on a summer home in New Jersey's Long Beach Island with her sister Christina, who's a few years older and also single with no kids. Ashley figures she's taken 10 trips in the last 12 months and often friends with a large group of about 25 people who are largely unmarried and don't have children. Those trips at 43 sound like they suck. I do not want to go on that trip, frankly.
Yeah, you can have it all as long as all doesn't include love, kids, or fulfillment. And sure, freeze your eggs and take 10 trips a year, but just know when the trip stops, so does the illusion. That single at 43 with no legacy sounds like a retirement home commercial waiting to happen. And could you imagine that? Do you not have kids, love, or fulfillment, and you're 43? Time to come to Shady Acres and retire.
You guys, I cannot believe what my own mother said to me last night.
What?
She said, Kira, you need to go out and get a boyfriend. You're getting too old.
Wow. No way.
She is kind of right. But what? I was like, Mother, that is so rude. Why would you say that to me? Oh my gosh. Okay, but if we're being real, where am I gonna meet someone if I barely leave my house? Like, the only place I really go to is the grocery store. And I've actually always envisioned myself meeting my future husband at the grocery store. Like, in the pasta aisle or something. Like, we'll bump into each other and we'll make eye contact and then... I don't know. You just know it's bad when your own mom points it out.
Your mom don't care. Your mom wants grandkids. Just eating a burnt donut. Your mom wants grandkids. Yeah.
These are just too good.
You need to think about having some babies. Your mom should kick you out.
Yeah, your mom wants grandkids and she's not wrong. But keep dreaming about meeting Mr. Pasta Aisle. Reality check: if you don't leave the house, how's Prince Charming supposed to find you? And you know, DoorDash doesn't deliver husbands.
And it wasn't until I really started doing a lot of therapy around my mental illnesses that I learned kind of the impact those situationships had on me overall. And so when I say I've never had a boyfriend, it used to be something that I was super, super ashamed of because I just figured at this point in my life, 30, I would definitely be in a situation or be at least close to like getting married, having kids, living with someone, like all those things I figured would already be like part of my life, but they're not. I want to share a little bit about why I think that's okay and why I'm coming to terms with where I'm at in my life is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Even though at times I find it really hard, I still believe that everything will work out how it's supposed to. And I'm just trying to have more faith that the universe will guide me wherever I need to go. But I truly did believe that by now I would be in love and would have found my person. And I think it's super easy for people to say, like, if they've been in relationships in the past or had like really bad experiences, that to be like, girl, you're not missing out on anything. I totally respect where you're coming from, but I think if you're like me and you've never experienced a relationship or been with someone that you really love and want to spend more time with or see your future with.
I know we reacted on her before. She was sitting in a car wearing a ball cap and mentioning she never had like a boyfriend. But here she is again, 30 and never had a relationship. That's not the universe guiding you. That's your decisions catching up. I mean, therapy is great, but it won't change the fact that time waits for no one. Either prioritize relationships or accept that you are your own +1 forever.
There is a gentleman right now who is live saying feminism has failed because 45% of women will be single and childless by 2030. And I'm letting you know, that is a feminism success, bruh. That is a feminism success. All right? That means women are exercising the choice more than ever before to only get married, to only stay married, to only have kids when they want to. Not like our generations past where there was not a lot of opportunity and options to do anything else. That is a win if 45% of us are choosing to be single and childless. Feminism has not ruined it. As for me as a woman, I say it has made things so much better. Congratulations, ladies.
Some of you guys feel that maybe some of these people that are on here and they talk about all of this, so proud of it, maybe their parents should have taken that advice and maybe not had them. Am I wrong for thinking that? But, you know, she's talking about feminism is a success because women are single and childless. That's like saying the Titanic was a win because lifeboats worked. You know, feminism didn't give you freedom. It sold you independence wrapped in isolation. And congrats on being alone with your cats.
Looking around for like the past 2 months, I think I'm finally ready to graduate from hookup culture. Like, I'm going to stop going to guys' houses when they offer. I'm going to say no because I just like, if I go to someone's house, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? So I just need to stop, and I'm getting tired of it. Like, I'm finally over it. So from now on, we're going to say no thank you, or maybe next time if a guy asks me to come over. And I'm just going to like start sabotaging myself by not showering like right before my date like I would if I knew or was open to the possibility of sleeping with someone, so I can force myself not to sleep with them. Like, if I know that I'm not clean, I'm not going to have sex with them. You know what I mean? And then another way that I used to do this when I had my place up in Seattle was I would purposefully leave my apartment dirty so that I couldn't bring a guy over. And that did work most of the time, except one time I really wanted to sleep with someone and I regretted it. So I made him like stand outside for like 5 minutes while I like tornadoed through my place and like put everything into the closet.
Finally graduating from hookup culture. No shit. But sabotaging yourself to avoid intimacy, that's not growth. That's self-inflicted celibacy. And maybe instead of playing games with yourself, you could just stop. I know it's a novel concept. Well, guys, modern relationships are in shambles because society prioritizes convenience over connection. You know, feminism, hookup culture, and corporate agendas sold women lies about empowerment while stripping men of incentives to commit. You know, laws, courts, societal double standards make relationships a lose-lose for men. Always men. Focus on self-improvement, have your passport in hand, and seek traditional values outside the West. As for women, you need to embrace femininity and honesty instead of chasing the independent boss babe pipe dream. Well, guys, that's the end of the video here today. If you like what you've seen, hit that like button, share, subscribe. Drop me a comment down below on what you think. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.